Hey everyone, I'm Kirsten, and today's project comes from one of our subscribers, Kath Borer 93, and she wants us to turn this into this. So let's get started. You ready to get started, Ollie? Let me show you what we need to get started. Okay, so first you're going to need the unicorn head from Unfinished Wood Co. We are going to be using white FolkArt chalk paint. We are going to be using rose gold brushed metal. We are going to be using 14 karat gold FolkArt metallic, and new and exciting, we're going to be using Glitterific glitter paint, which is rose gold. So the tools that you're going to need is always a medium-sized flat brush, always a large size flat brush for base coating. I like gold nylon, but use whatever brush is best for you. And for today, you're going to need a palette knife. And this is just an inexpensive plastic palette knife. So after we paint everything, we are going to be adding flowers to our unicorn. These are paper flowers, but you can use silk flowers, you can use felt flowers, so just get some flowers that you like. We're gonna need a hot glue gun for that, always some clean water, some paper towels, and then a palette. And at the very end, we're going to hang our unicorn, so make sure you have a staple gun and a little piece of wire. First step is we're going to base coat our unicorn white. So we're going to be using FolkArt chalk white. Always give it a little shake. And we are going to be using our larger flat brush. And then I am going to base coat the entire surface of the unicorn head. The wood at Unfinished Wood Co. is such high quality that it's ready to paint. You don't have to sand or prep it. Always make sure when you're base coating your surface that you get your edges. You want your edges to match your project. Make sure you don't have any drips, but get a good base coat. The chalk paint is my favorite paint because it's just one coat. Okay, so now that your unicorn is completely base coated, you're going to let that dry completely. Clean off your brush and your water. So the next step that we are going to do is we are going to the tricks of TV. We are going to base coat the horn of the unicorn with the gold metallic. For the next step, we're going to need the FolkArt 14 karat gold and a medium brush. Give it a little shake. I'm going to put that on my palette. Look at how beautiful that metallic is. And then using my little bit smaller medium flat brush, I am just going to base coat that unicorn horn. Okay, so base coating your horn, and here again, I just kind of used the edge of the head and into the ear as a guide on where to stop the horn. Remember, you're going to be adding glitter and flowers, so that does not need to be perfect. The metallic covers great with just one coat, so get that on there and then make sure you let that dry completely. Clean off your brush in your water, and our next step is we are going to create the pattern for the mane and base coat that. So now we're going to apply the pattern for the unicorn's mane. I'm going to use just a colored piece of chalk, but you can use a pencil, you can use a piece of chalk, whatever you like to use best. So you do not have to be perfect and you don't have to copy what I'm doing. But all I'm going to do is start behind his little ear and just make a very loose pattern. I always like to think of S's and C's. You just want it to flow like a unicorn's hair. So that's the pattern for the mane. And then I'm going to do a little bit up front where his hair hangs over his horn. And again, you can add more or less. Okay, so to base coat our unicorn mane, we're going to use the brushed metal, which is a new metallic by FolkArt. It's a wonderful new metallic. And this is brushed rose gold. Always give your paint a little shake. And I'm going to pour a good bit of that onto my palette. Look how beautiful that metallic is. Okay, then using a medium-sized flat brush, I am just going to base coat that mane. And where I'm going to start is I'm just going to go over top that chalk or that paper or that pencil pattern that you created, covering that up completely, and then filling that in and making sure all of the mane is base coated. Now don't forget, whatever you do to the top, I like to do to the edge, so I'm going to go in and make sure I base coat all of those edges. So once your base coat is done, don't forget your little bangs. You're going to let that dry, and our next step is we are going to add the glitter. We are going to paint the main with FolkArt Glitterific. This glitter paint is amazing. It has giant particles. It has a clear base. Look, oh, there's the magic. Look at all that sparkle. There's so much glitter in that base. The base is clear and the particles are huge. Okay, so there's lots of ways to apply this glitter. What I like to do is scoop it up. Not like your base coating, but you're actually getting a big scoop of that glitter onto your project. So the first way I'm going to apply it is I am just going to, around the edges where the base coat meets the white, I am going to, you're almost palette knifing, almost puttying on just an edge of glitter. See how you're kind of almost like you're decorating a cake. You're just building up that edge. I'm going to show you another unique way in a minute on how to get coverage on the rest of the main. So just going on the edges, you're going to scoop that off of your palette onto your base coated area, and you are just going to bump that glitter paint to where the white meets the base coat. Don't worry about the rest because I'm going to show you another fun way to apply it for the rest of your main. Okay, so on your inside edge, there's my helper. Good boy, Ollie. On my inside edge, you are just applying the glitter with a brush. So now the fun part of applying the glitter is another way is using a palette knife. So your edges were done with a brush. Now another great way to apply Glitterific is when you're working on a really big area that you want coverage, I am going to squeeze this paint directly onto my project. Oh my gosh, look at all that sparkle. And then using a palette knife, I am going to spread that. Oh wow, isn't that beautiful? Just like, let's say you were decorating a cake. You get full coverage, it dries even, it dries flat, there's no bumps or ridges, and you get, look at that, oh my gosh, you get like a one coat application using this palette knife and the Glitterific. Okay, so one more section. I love using that palette knife. It gets a perfect coat of even Glitterific on that large surface area. So spread out any areas that aren't thin or thick enough. Move that glitter around. Okay, now you have full coverage and you're going to let that dry completely. So for our next step, we are going to add the paper flowers. So these are my paper flowers. Use whatever color you want, but I love this teal aqua with my rose gold. Now let me real quick tell you another great thing about this Glitterific is traditional glitter would be all over your hands and all over your work area. This dries and none of the glitter ever comes off. So to apply our little silk flowers, all I'm going to do is kind of place them a little bit where I want them, and I am going to attach those using hot glue. Just going to put a little dab on the back of my flower. I'm going to place that, press it down just for a second. Apply another little dab onto my flower. I'm going to place that, and I'm going to keep placing flowers just until I've accented the top. Okay, I'm going to glue on my last flower. Hold that just for a minute. Okay, now I'm going to show you how easy it is to hang. So to hang it, you are going to need some wire cutters, a little piece of wire, and a staple gun. Let me show you how easy that is. So I cut my wire to be almost as long as the project, and what I'm going to do is you never want to be at the top and you never want to be in the middle. So about halfway between middle and top, I'm just going to place that wire. I put one staple in on one side, pull that tight, put one staple in on the other side, and then you are just going to twist that wire, loop that through, one little twist, and then you've got a perfect spot to hang your unicorn. Voila! Here's your magical unicorn project. I wanted to thank Kath Borer93 for suggesting this. If you guys have any projects that you want us to do, comment below. Maybe we'll do your project next. So we will have links to all of these products that we used today below. And please subscribe and like us. And there's a notification bell so that we can let you know when more videos are coming. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.